Alright guys, today I have for y'all's lovely viewing pleasure, I have a 4L60E right here. Bought it yesterday actually, and the guy I bought it from said it was jerking in and out of gear, and he wasn't sure if it was a transmission or transfer case, whole 9 yards, but I figured, well, let's get it, let's tear it down, let's see if it was actually the transmission or not. And so today we're going to be tearing this sucker down and seeing if we can't find any problems with it. Now, I don't know if y'all can see from here, but it has marks. They have marks on the bolts, paint marks. It looks like it's been rebuilt, but it's even got paint marks here on the pump, and it looks pretty fresh. But you know, we can't ever trust that. But I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and see if we can't find something wrong with it. So let's do this mystery trans teardown. Alright y'all, so first thing we're going to be doing to this transmission is we're going to be taking off all the outside brackets and anything that's kind of unnecessary to keep on. So we're going to be taking off the 4-wheel drive adapter. Went ahead and took off that shift bracket off the side as well. Just trying to get things out of our way, so tearing this will be easier. But as you can see, we're moving on to the bottom of the pan, and we're going to start taking those bolts out. They had left a few of them bolts loose because the guy I bought it from had gone and pulled the pan and pulled the solenoids out of it to try another transmission, and they worked just fine. So I have the solenoids as well, but they're not in the transmission. They're off to the side with the torque converter. But we're just going to go ahead and zip these out, and then I'm going to show y'all what's inside the pan. Like, it doesn't look too good. Go ahead and get y'all off the stand. Look at this. Got much metals around that sucker. Look how shiny that fluid is. I think we might have found the issue. Let's keep going. Alright, so after that, we're going to go ahead and start working on this valve body. We're going to take that filter off, and we're going to take this other piece off. Now, y'all gonna have to excuse me. This is my first time tearing down a transmission and really tearing into one. I've torn into four-wheeler transmissions, like manual four-wheeler transmissions, but this is a first for automatics for me, so it's a learning process. And I'm not entirely sure of all the names, but I'm gonna go back in with the book, and I've got a lot of reading to do to really get all this ironed out and figured out. Looks like anti-seize. As y'all can see in the slowed down portion, I was pretty surprised to find that in this transmission. You know, this is the first teardown I'm kind of doing, and have it congealed up like that, looking like actual anti-seize, was really strange to me. But y'all see here, I'm taking the shift linkage off. I got it off and starting to work on the valve body bolts. And I know it might seem like I'm taking more time than needs to be. I mean, I've seen the same videos. These guys tear these transmissions down in minutes, and I'm over here taking half an hour. Thank goodness that it's sped up, but I'm taking half an hour to tear apart the valve body. Just because it's the first time. I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to tear anything up. I want to make sure everything that can be reused, it doesn't get messed up by me going too fast. But you'll see here I'm working on separating the valve body, making sure I don't damage anything, because y'all know these valve bodies are very, very touchy. And if you sit there and gouge them or mess them up or anything like that, it's going to destroy your shifting. I mean, it's going to shift irregular. It's not going to shift right. It isn't going to function right. But we went ahead and got that off. I got the little steel balls that are sitting up in there. I got those out. Made sure I got those out. But now we're getting that accumulator off. And we are getting the gasket off. And we are fixing to try and get that wiring harness out. Now, that wiring harness was kind of tricky because the outside of the transmission was caked, absolutely caked in mud and grime and dirt. And the transmission looked fairly fresh. I mean, it looked like a fresh rebuild on the inside, but the outside just, I mean, I didn't trust it at all. I mean, it looked like it hadn't been rebuilt in ages. It looked like it was stuck in there from the factory. It was just so covered in gunk and grime. I didn't figure it was ever rebuilt. And it kind of made me question why there were, markings on the bolts as well. I wouldn't want to have my name on something that might have been rebuilt, but it wasn't cleaned or anything like that. And I think that might have been part of the issue that we were running into. There was a lot of metal in the pan. You'll see there was a lot of crud in that accumulator too. It's the same paste that I found on the bottom of the valve body, and y'all will see later. I find this paste again. It's strange that it pooled up in all these different areas, and really makes me question what's going on with this transmission. But we're still working down there on the shifter, on the shifting linkage, making sure, trying to get all that out. Trying to make sure we, like I said, don't tear anything up. I'm slowly taking my time. Not trying to be a bull in a china shop or anything like that, because I can be, and when I do, it usually costs me money because I usually break stuff. Seldom does being a bull in a china shop ever work right, but the times it does work, it feels pretty good. But still working on trying to get that sprag off. Trying to make sure I don't damage anything. And it looks like I finally got it off. But yeah, there we go. Alright, Joe. Well, now I can see we got everything out the valve body. Now we're gonna go and pull this shift servo, and we'll get started on pulling the pump and all that. You see, here was another thing, the valve body. So I didn't show it in here, but trying to get that snap ring out was so hard because it was so caked up in mud and just grime and grit, and it really makes me question like the quality of the rebuild that was done on this thing, because it wasn't cleaned. And if it was clean, it didn't stay clean for long. But we're gonna go and get these pump bolts out and get ready to go ahead and pull the pump. I wasn't putting silicone up in these holes. I wouldn't know what that had to do with anything, but we're gonna see. Alright, Joe. Well, new shirt, new day. So I was looking at pulling this bell housing off because I want to clean everything. And it takes a T50 Torx Plus socket. And lo and behold, there are no T50 Torx Plus sockets available around where I live at all. And to order this one, I got it off Amazon. It did the trick, but I didn't want to tear up any of my regular Torx sockets. And them bolts were really tight. I mean, ridiculously tight. But now I'm working on getting this pump out. It really seemed like whoever built this didn't want it to come apart. I'm pretty sure I say that in this too. But still working on getting that pump out. I know y'all kind of see it's kind of jumpy. It's really jumpy. It isn't making much sense to me. The first part was recorded in HD, and the second part I mistakenly put in 4K, and it made it really, really jumpy for some reason. Whoever built this didn't want this to come apart, apparently. But I do apologize. I've obviously learned my lesson on recording, mainly because it took up all the storage space in my phone trying to record this video, and I just didn't pay any attention to it until it was all said and done. But you'll see now I'm kind of looking around the pump, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. I should have, gone by the book to tear this down, but this is, like I said, this is a learning experience. I'm going to go back together with this transmission and by the book. Obviously, I don't want to tear anything up or do anything because eventually this transmission is going to be put into a vehicle. So that bane looks pretty good. Doesn't look like it has any real wear on it. So, it's good. Alright, y'all, well, let's keep on going down with this rebuild. Y'all see I took out that main chunk right there. Went ahead and got that planetary and that sun shell out. And now I'm working on getting this piston out. I'm working on getting that snap ring. The hardest part about this was those tiny snap rings. It was a real pain in my butt, and I kind of sat there fighting it for a while. I was able to use a mix of regular, they were 45 snap ring pliers, and then also screwdrivers and picks and all that. But it just kind of difficult and really makes me feel like I need a light, because I felt like I was struggling to see what was going on in there, and I know y'all are too. I just didn't have any lights on charge, and my little pocket light, it kept on getting dimmer and dimmer, so pretty sure it was getting ready to die. I probably needed to put it on charge. But yeah, we're like I said, I got a little spring compressor. I'm trying to get the spring cage out. I wasn't able to get it out. I got the snap ring out, but it just wouldn't come out. It was kind of strange to me what was going on with it. You'll see I'm sitting here trying to compress the spring and get it taken care of. Not really sure what was going on with it. But I left it in there. I left it in the case for the time being. I'm going to come back to it at a later date. Before I go and rebuild the transmission, I'm going to get it out and fully inspect it and all. But I'm not really sure why it wasn't coming out. It didn't really make much sense to me. I need to probably consult a manual and figure out exactly why, figure out what exactly is holding me back from getting that piece out. Because like I said, I don't want to bull rush it or anything like that. Especially these kind of jobs. Trying to tear it down, see what an issue is. I'm not trying to cause any more issues that we'll have to address later down the road. But yeah, like I said, this is me sitting there fighting those snap rings like I'm talking about. I'm sitting there fighting with picks and screwdrivers, and y'all can see them handles of them snap ring pliers there too. Just sitting there fighting it. Not really having much luck. I eventually did get them, but it took quite a while. And I know y'all see all this jumping around. I really don't know what was going on with it. Y'all see here, I'm sitting there inspecting that spring cage, trying to figure out why it wouldn't come out or anything like that. Really didn't make much sense to me. I would have expected it to kind of pop out after compressing it. It compressed fine. It just, I got the snap ring out, but whenever I went to go bring it out, it just wouldn't come out. And put air to the piston and all that, but it pushed that piston back in. That little spring cage did. I was hoping it would sit there and push it out, but that just wasn't the case. But like I said, I'm just trying to be really, really easy with it and not trying to mar anything up, damage anything that wasn't already damaged or anything like that, because we're really trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. And you'll see I'm back with a spring cage, that little spring compressor, working on that spring cage again, trying to get it out. Not really sure what's going on with it, but I'm sure we'll get it out. Just need to kind of read up about it, check it out, because like I said earlier, this is my first transmission tearing it apart. I feel like it's kind of obvious, but how much time I'm taking with this, it's a lot longer than a lot of other people do, and other people will have the book, and I need to get the book to really do it right, do it justice. Don't want to do anything halfway. Well, y'all, I've been tearing it down, taking the clutch packs out. The clutches don't look bad. They don't have any hot spots on the steels or anything, but I think I found out where our metal is coming from. Y'all can see that. It's got a lot of chatter marks up in here. Got some grooves, got some cuts, and it's all coming off, just like what we had up in the valve body. So, I think we found out where all that metal was coming from. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm going to keep tearing this down and cleaning it up, but it's going to do it for me for today, guys. So, see y'all later. Peace.